that gaming cast was it yesterday that had like what
Yeah.
6 or 7 out of the first 8 bands were offlaners.
Yeah, there were a ton of offlane bans, and then we ended up on like slightly worse ones, right? It was like Beastmaster and whatnot, but yeah, they completely drained the pool of all of the really easy offlane picks. That's kind of what's happening here again from RNG. Ocean just gonna go for the Tusk one more time. So it does
Please
him.
not a pos 3. Please no.
Yeah, I would prefer to just see it as a 4. But kind of running things back somewhat. I think after that previous game, they're not going to run it 3 again. I guess we'll just have to see, however.
Well, that's the thing. Like, you hear pro players talk about the style of, like, their drafts, and a lot of teams are very happy to go back to the well that other time because they just feel like it's the execution that let them down. But really, like, Ocean are not a bad team. Their execution was fine in the game. They got a lot of early ganks off, they got the picks. Maybe it could have been a bit more targeted towards the Naga Siren and a little bit more objective focused, but in terms of mechanical skill, it was all there.
Yeah, I do think that there was something to be said for maybe they could have been a little bit more aggressive with, say, the Tusk and the Ricky. Even if they tried the first few times to go deep and get kills, and they got punished for it, and then I think at that point they settled back in a little bit. But you're right, mechanically and in terms of execution and just pushing the buttons, I think they were just fine. And it does seem to be it's the team cohesion and the strategy and maybe the drafting a little bit letting them down. Man, RNG just Death Prophet Centaur Ember straight up at the beginning here.
I don't mind the bristle. It allows them to stay aggressive. It gives them a bit of pushing power with that Warpath stacking up. Again, like, just to go back one more time to the previous game, it's kind of like, I know it's banned out this game, but with a clockwork strategy, if you miss a gank or 2, clockwork's basically just in the bin, and that's with a 4 clockwork. And now you had a 3 tusk, and it was failing a couple of times. There's just really no way to come back from that.
I like the idea of the bristleback, but I don't know if this is that great of a game for it.
And then do you think it's now going to be a 1 bristleback as well?
Could be. To me, the other thing that's just surprising is I feel like RNG, like, why are we getting all of these heroes? Like, why are we allowed to get... part of it is just because, Ocean are taking things that are a little bit outside of the meta. So I think in other drafts you would see, like, oh, we'd have maybe the Death Prophet on one side and the Ember Coddle on the other. But instead, now RNG have gotten a ton of really nice power heroes for themselves all the way through the draft. So I guess we'll just have to see if this super fast lineup for Ocean can work out. The idea is definitely there, right? Bristleback just gets some tanky items. He's up in front. Pugna's blasting towers. You just go. There's no other choice, really.
Yeah. What are they going to use to round it out? So they don't want the... I guess the Phoenix is alright. Sustain. It's okay. Harass. Yeah. I don't think that would have been like the make or break for their lineup, though. That's the thing.
Right. I don't know if there is like one obvious counterpick for RNG in this position. Maybe like Silencer. Maybe Silencer is the most annoying hero that Ocean could play against at this point. Their whole lineup actually suffers against
But then don't you just
Silencer.
run at him,
Yeah, you do. It's like, I think Silencer is in a position where he is maybe bad enough that even if it was like an amazing Silencer game, you're just not going to pick him. And Nyx Assassin is actually kind of the same way here. The mana burn insanely annoying against for Bristleback to deal with, and you're really, really good against Pugna. So this is an awesome Nyx pick.
Yep. Some I think it's top int gain in the game, right, on the Pugna?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Nyx is going to be really impactful for damage there, and yeah, like you said, Bristle and Slark actually not the highest mana pools, so you can very easily punish them if you're able to drain them out, and lots of AoE damage coming from the Tusk and the Grimstroke too. So yeah, I'm liking it.
All right, I think RNG got this for sure.
I'm more like
Over under 22 minutes?
I think it'll be over slightly. Just because they won't quite have the net worth to be able to deal with it because they're going to be getting run at. So I think, the very start of the game might be going Ocean favored, but once it reaches past those couple of first key items for RNG, it's going to turn around in their favor. So I'm going to say 27 minutes.
Okay. But we're both going RNG. Their lineup just looks too good this game against what Ocean have. Like, maybe there is a world in where this Bristleback is going to, they could do quite well in the offlane, so Bristle could get tanky, and Pugna just gets the the levels and the items that he needs to do his job. But
I feel like Bristol should be taller as well. Doesn't he look kind of short in that lineup?
He gets bigger when he gets Warpath stacks.
I guess, but so it's always good to feel important as he stands off slinking over there to the side.
Yeah. He's not important yet. He needs the levels, needs the scaling. Anywho, let's get to it. So, oh wait, so for Ocean it is...
Prepare for battle.
For Pugna.
That's Tusk mid though. It's...
With tag team level.
Does he think he's up against the Ember Spirit?
I mean, surely not after the Coddle came
no,
out, right?
There's no way, right? You know that it's the... Is this somehow like good against the Death Prophet? Are they just gonna gank the Death Prophet a whole bunch with like one of the supports? I don't get this. I don't see Tusk winning this 1v1.
Maybe they're just memeing a bit. Who knows?
Yeah, maybe. This is very weird.
Pugna going the Buckler as well as one of his early items.
Olaf forced into skilling up the Pounce at bottom, unfortunately. Got found out. And RNG is going to take over this outpost. Little quick outpost swap. Monet. So Monet, I don't even know if... So he's definitely... He knows that he's up against the Bristleback. He's got the magic stick picked up already. And I think they are kind of sacrificing the Ember a tiny bit early game, but that's just the nature of Ember. You can always kind of catch up, use your mobility, get things done anyway. And he's going to have the Keeper of the Light to make sure he's relevant this game pretty much no matter what. So. Ocean
missing out on their Sentry Ward placement after checking for the vision that came from that Observer Ward.
Slark just dug himself an escape tunnel to get past the Nyx Assassin. Like, September wanted to bodyguard him getting into the lane, so he just quelling bladed his way all the way through until he got past the Nyx and then popped out. Oh boy, that's fun.
Necessity is the mother of invention, Kip, and
yep.
What better situation for it?
Alright, Tusk is CSing with the tag team. So far, so good. Oh, wait, what is this? What is Nether Ward level 1? Hello? Hello? The negative mana regen, Danog. This is the new meta evolving before our eyes.
Passive Netherwood. I don't think he's even actually losing any mana when he's standing next to it. He just stays stagnant.
Alright,
and
another
you've got a
one.
Coddle next to you.
Here we go. -1. The power. The majesty. At least the cool spray is doing something. I guess, like, Decrep is of questionable value. At least you could be messing with the Ember's CS a little bit. I don't know about this one.
We'll see. Could be the new meta.
Keeper of the Light will be missing a spell in 2 more minutes.
Alright, let's see if this little tunnel is going to be used to get the courier to them as well, because the Nyx Assassin, he was looking out for it. He was standing in the middle of the lane trying to chase it down. No, it's running on the outside.
Well, now that they see him, well, he might not prevent the delivery, but he might still get it. Oh, September. He's... Okay, no. XMY goes all the way back. He's just coming over to body block this small camp. ZC still doing okay at mid. Has to be said.
Yeah.
But I did not think that the solution to, hey, our position 3 Tusk didn't do so well last game. What should we do differently this game, guys? I did not think the answer to that question was going to be, let's just run him mid instead.
Mid Tusk, let's go. Even more farm priority.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if he gets a good start, he can just start running around one-shotting people, hopefully. But we'll have to see. Flywind doing quite well down here. Monet getting gone on up top. Big stick charge, though, is going to keep him A-okay. TZY still diving a little bit. So Monet not having the most fun, but...
ZC's been playing around his cooldowns pretty well here. Not using the tag team constantly, making sure that it's always up for the next big creep wave when he needs it.
Yeah, I kind of want to watch how this is going, actually. So he just pops the tag team to kind of CS. He's not really pressuring the Death Prophet, but an even trade on farm does not seem, it doesn't seem that bad. Oh, he died bottom. Well, what happened? He got stunned by September. I guess he was too slow to get away from the boots Nyx Assassin, and then follow up with the hoof stomp and dead.
Maybe he got stuck in with his own creeps as well.
Maybe. Okay, so XMY TP's mid, bottle refill for the Tusk, that's nice. But Flywin is now just backlaning down here. He's got his Ring of Health coming. Ola being forced to CS underneath the tower. Looks like he should be okay. They're going for Monet up top. Stick charges one more time, but not going to be enough to save him here, as Fame does right-click him down. He was pretty far up in the lane, and Super also very low. ZC getting drained, and he wanted to come over here to grab the double damage. Actually, snowball forward onto Super. He kills him, gets the double damage, and now just TP's out. Okay.
TP, yeah. Good little victory. TP'd all the way back to base, which is a bit of a shame. At least you've got XMY there to soak up some of the experience.
Yeah, that's something. Man, they're really letting the Centaur get away with murder at bottom, though. Flywin just rushing this Vanguard. He's going to be pretty tough to deal with. But
what can you do, though? That's the thing.
Yeah, I guess the Pugna rotation's not really going to do a whole heck of a lot. So okay? So we got 2 points Nether Blast now. September rushing up at top. There's the chains. Here's the stun. The Nether Ward is down. Is it going to do a whole lot of work? They lose the Pugna. TZY up against 3. The Quill Spray doing decent damage. Just needs to keep his back turned. He might be able to kill them all here. Quill Spray. That brings down 1. Look for another. Monet in danger. Double kill for TZY. Bristleback doing some Bristleback things.
And that value Nether Ward as well. Just sitting there throughout the entire fight. Sitting behind the tree.
I guess it was pretty good.
Yeah.
He
Don't doubt the Nether Ward, Cam.
I'm doubting how much damage it actually did there. I guess it's 1 damage per mana. It's not the worst. Ooh. The attempted. They're going to pop the Exorcism to bring down the Tusk here. Nice Ice Shards and wildly missed stun from September. ZC looking for the turnaround. Not quite going to be good enough. September with the stick charger surviving a little bit longer, but the auto attacks will bring him down in the end. Nicely played by the Tusk there. At least getting the 1 turnaround out of it.
Man, when we last looked at that mid lane, they were both sitting at around 20 last hits, and since then it's been, what, another 20 to the DP versus 3 for this Tusk?
Yeah, not the nicest for him.
I guess I was about to say, if it was a lot more even, then this DP would have at least had the fear of the Walrus Punch coming back at her.
Yeah, but not the case. CC hasn't quite grabbed that yet. Monet still getting run at top. Not having a whole lot of fun. Wishing that he was Flywin over on bottom. Chains coming out onto Fame. Monet stampede away. That's going to get him out of the Quill Spray engine. Setsu comes TPing in to put an end to the Bristleback's reign of terror. Down he goes. Tusk, not a whole lot that he can do to really threaten mid lane while the Death Prophet's gone. And Flywin, alright, now has some boots. And Slark's getting free farm, but Centaur very happy with his lot in life.
Got the Vanguard finished up. He's not even going to complete up anything like the Crimson. It's just for that little bit of tankiness so he can stay out in these lanes and accelerate his farm. That's how he gets it. You don't need no Battle Fury.
Yeah, they're both taking little bits of additional farm from the neutral camps as well. Ola with the maxed out Dark Pact, so able to farm pretty nicely using that. Just grabbing all of this. Setsu, haven't seen the item build just yet, I imagine. Just going to be picking up a Yules more than likely. Don't know if there's any real reason to like rush a BKB or anything like that, as Ocean now rotating their 2 supports over towards the mid lane. Let's see what they can get done here. Alright, attempting the Shard's block on Setsu, but he is A-okay. Bristlebike's got level 7. He's actually pretty big. Spot's super. Doesn't have a point in the goo. And Super just knocking him back with the blind. So that's fine there. And a little battle in the river happening. Burst damage onto the Death Prophet, but is it going to be enough? They missed the nuke. Fame's running over now, but I don't know if that Decrepify is actually doing what they wanted it to. And here comes the life drain. ZC in danger. Setsu back to full HP. Couple more auto attacks should bring him down. They also lose the Grimstroke a little bit further back, and with Flywind here and the Exorcism ready, this looks like it's just going to be RNG taking out this tier 1 tower.
And that's the thing, you've had this Centaur who's had essentially the equivalent ability to farm as this Slark, but he actually makes this rotation, whereas Slark still needs to sit down on this bottom side. He's much more item dependent, and RNG taking advantage of those key timings.
Yeah, the initial levels for Slark are only really improving his farming capability, right? You max out the Dark Pact, you go through the jungle, but until you get your first couple of items, won't be able to do too much. Centaur just tanking up some more Death Prophet after surviving that, looking pretty on the net worth. And Tusk, well, he's already moved down to position 3 on his team, trying to walk forward here onto September, but the shards wear out. They are still looking for this kill. Nyx Assassin silenced and will be brought down. TZY walking forward up onto this high ground. Alright. They're setting their sights on this tower. They got the 3 points and another blast, but Monet has something to say about this push. Comes in, throws out the slight, gets another slight.
Setsu's got 6 stacks of that Quill Spray, but it doesn't seem like they're too keen to continue the fight moving forward. Maybe going for this top outpost here, only 25 seconds left until it starts to be used for experience. You've got Grimstroke ready to tank up any sort of ganks.
Yeah, let's see if they can get this. Flywood actually going to be TPing top right before this outpost gets captured. So he's sort of pincering them here. ZC can't even get the kill on the Super. They will get the silence onto the Centaur. Nicely done. There's the combo with the Decrepify. But what can they do about this beefy Centaur in the middle of everything? Super does even manage to capture the outpost. Fame not there in time to kill him off. And it looks like Super even going to end up surviving. This Courier might get out. Fame, do they have anything to interrupt this TP? Yes, they do. Here comes the chains, and that is going to be a triple kill for this Death Prophet.
Yeah, trying to get anything that they could. My game actually froze kind of halfway through that team fight, so you'll have to excuse me on that. But, I mean, they went for a decent gank on Setsu. They had the good setup for it with the Cruel Spray stacks. Realizing that, look, let's just try and take an objective moving forward, and still not able to grab it. The Keeper of the Light able to finish it off, even only sitting at 20% HP. So maybe some target prioritization issues for them that time around.
They just don't have the reliable or like consistent damage for Ocean here. There's like a little bit of burst from the Tusk, and that's about it. They're going on September at bottom. Pops the Vendetta to try and get a little bit further away. Did get the Spiked Carapace off as well, but it will be brought down.
Might be a different story once Fame hits up into his level 6 now. You can just pop the life drain onto your Bristleback and keep fighting fit in these team fights.
Yeah, I suppose so. It is pretty good.
And he's got the Vanguard now as well, so it's going to become a lot harder to kill TZY.
Lockdown's still going to be a little bit of a problem, but I guess at least they've got the Soulbind. He's still manning up against Flywind here, but Flywind is a very tanky guy with his Vanguard and his Hood. Lots of HP regen going his way, so he can just park himself in front of any building here and hold off Ocean, who are kind of heading bottom. They're looking at this Death Prophet, but I think Setsu's going to be alright. And he's actually coming top. They want this kill on the Bristleback. There's the first stun. They do have a Will-O-Wisp in case he tries for a TP out, but I don't think he's even going to get the opportunity. Here comes the Exorcism along with the Drain. Setsu still staying on top of him. And RNG grabbed that kill. Nobody playing around the bristle.
No, and popping the mysticism, so this tier 1 tower is going to be in significant danger. He decides to go for it. It's still got a decent duration left. Yeah, probably about 5-10 seconds. And man, Flywind, he's even going into a right-click build on top of all of his sustain in these team fights. He hits for about 300 when he's got that Retaliator.
Yeah, he's doing so well that he's just like, yeah, whatever. Power treads time. Mid lane is getting pressured. Fayman's in danger. Monet looking for this kill. They do get the Bristleback TPing towards mid. The Will-O-Wisp popped at bottom. They aren't going to really be able to catch anything, but it does deter the dive from Ocean as Flywind is putting his body on the line to hold on to this tier 1 tower.
I suppose they don't really know where Monet is, but it just goes to show you the mentality that Ocean are having to play with. They had 3 heroes, they got a good soulbind off, and the RNG heroes are both sitting on about half HP, but they're not willing to commit.
And Monet just going for a little bit more of an AFK farm build, rushing into the Maelstrom this game, so team is giving him permission and space to catch up a little bit. Super getting gone on. ZC, decent walrus push damage. Flywind's in there with the stun, and they've got the silencer splitting up this fight. Super's still surviving. Setsu here with the damage. Ola's kind of low, does look for the stun on the Flywind, but you just can't go on this Centaur. Setsu does still have the Yules as well. They're draining onto the Bristleback. They're getting some value out of their Nether Ward. They spot the Slark inside of the trees. Flywind, tankiness, getting turned around at him a little bit here. The tag team also doing decent damage. Can they finally kill him? Yes, they can. Monet looking to pick up a couple of kills here. Ocean's still fairly healthy. Fame's over in the trees. These trees are finally getting all cut down. Pugna, Blast gets reflected in his face. TZY, not all that healthy. They're looking towards September, but now they're just so far in this corner. Slark will be able to hop over, but no such luxury for the Tusk as he gets brought down. Slark getting yet another HP reset, actually doing okay here. Death Prophet forced to Yules. Will be able to dodge the Ink Swell as well. Tanking, but doesn't have any more drains. And Slark is actually coming into his own here. Monet jumping forward aggressively. Just wants to finish both of these kills. This would be huge for him if he could also pick up the Slark, and he does it with the Sleight of Fist. Did the Keeper even buy back? No, Super just respawned. Came back to the fight, and now level 9 after all is said and done.
Not a horrible fight for Ocean, you know, being able to get a couple of heroes that I thought maybe were going to be able to survive in the DP, and eventually taking down a few of those tankier ones on RNG's side. But I don't know, it just felt a little bit weird to me because you've got this position for Pugna, and he's just not really doing much with it. He didn't use Life Drain once in that entire team fight, and when something's going to last for 30 seconds, you really need to be doing that.
They're trying to go on the Bristle, but they're not really putting damage on the front, and here comes the Soulbind. That's going to spell trouble. They will put down the Will-O-Wisp one more time just to try and get out of here. The Stampede, but the Centaur is keeping Monet trapped here. Decrepify coming out. I'm not sure if that's what they really want. Bristleback's damage not doing anything to Flywind. The drains continue. Setsu's got the Exorcism running. It is only level 1, but it's still decent damage, and they can't quite kill Monet. TZY going to try and chase him down. They're using the Life Drain, but that immediately gets interrupted. Slark at least gets into the Shadow Dance, but Setsu's the big problem here. At least Ola finds one. They bring down the Keeper of the Light, Flywind and Setsu, keeping the team fight going. September looks for the stun, but Ola won't quite get it, and XMY just running for the hills, gonna go and grab this little bounty that he sees with his Observer Ward.
XMY is actually getting caught out here by Setsu. He's in no man's land.
Yeah, he's getting caught out. So they had they saw him taking the bounty and kind of walking over in this direction, so they knew what was up. And I think he TP'd bottom, so no TP scroll available.
Yeah.
Well, in the end,
able to get a very brief mana drain off. You're taking advantage of that 7-second cooldown, but cooldown doesn't matter if you only use it once, and doesn't quite have the Aether Lens just yet, not having that early game start up.
Super. Now the blind. He's okay.
Ugh. He's scared of a Nyx Assassin TP apparently.
Yeah, I guess maybe also worried about who knows if the Ember is rotating. Monet just dealing with this wave at bottom. He's got his Maelstrom. He's getting pressured a little bit, but he's got a Remnant to jump back to, so he's fine.
I just think you've got to risk it at that stage, you know? You're playing from behind.
Oh no, is TZY dead? He doesn't even have very much mana on this Bristleback. At least he's got some magic wand charges, but this is just all 3 cores bullying down the Bristle, and this is like the 2nd or 3rd time that we've seen the Bristleback just kind of playing a little bit too confidently out by himself and getting punished by RNG.
Was that a misclick by the Slug? He's kept the Iron Talon, so he still wants to farm even after he just picked up an Imp Claw.
Interesting. I thought it would have held on to that at least a little bit. What, Tusk taking it? Okay. I guess it... But wait, isn't this already a... I mean, Walrus Punch is already a crit, right? So...
Double crit, Kip. That's what he was.
Oh, they really want super. But he is on top of this. And Setsu gonna come in and say no to that attempt. How's Monet doing? Still steadily climbing with the build. Heads back down bottom. TP's on cooldown, so he can't join his team over at top, but RNG just grabbing both of the outposts quickly. And Ocean... Just not a whole lot of playmaking potential really happening. Again, it's the problem with this Tusk, and he's not really doing that much better for being on the mid lane. Compared to the off lane in the last game.
Super's been doing really well to survive a long time in these team fights. You know, he's died 4 times, but when you consider the lineup that he's going up against and the amount of attention that's being focused onto him, it just means that his positioning has been really good.
Yeah, it makes sense to try and kill Coddle first, right? Otherwise, you're just like the Ember and the Death Prophet are just gonna spam you to death if the Chakra Magic keeps flowing. So. Gotta do what they can. TZY is going for an SNY here. Ola is gonna just be going for a BKB next. But RNG actually just heading into the Roshan pit, man. They got an Essence ring on this Death Prophet, so Setsu looking very tanky. Not even just the casual plate mail is gonna be going straight into the full Shivas here. And RNG scan on the high ground. They don't actually have a whole lot of vision outside the pit, but Super can always break this fight up pretty easily with the Will-O-Wisp, so not too concerned. And Ocean, I don't even think they know about this. Oh, he just gets claimed, and RNG just walks straight up onto the high ground. There's a neutral item there. Well, Bristle grabbed it. That's the Nether Shot, but is that going to cost him his life? In comes the Stampede. Flywind finds the jump. The Will-O-Wisp holding back the Bristle. Is it going to drag him one more time? It will, and now the Soulbind's broken. They can keep on focusing. Ola looking for Super in the backlines, but he's just staying with his teammates, so that is going to force out the Shadow Dance early. ZC, they want September badly. It's just the supports that are getting focused. RNG's core is not taking any damage whatsoever. Flywind now the target, but I think he's too tanky. TZY not latching onto anybody. Ola trying to jump out, but Monet puts him in the ground, and yeah, well, not a good fight.
His team just leaving him for dead, basically.
Well, he got split up, right? He got caught only ever so slightly out of position. He was down the ramp, and everyone was over here, and RNG just drove a wedge straight down the middle. Not so easy a Slark game if RNG are just gonna play this 5-man style where the cores are doing a good job of protecting the supports.
Yeah. And, man, I love the hero, but it just doesn't seem like this Pugna's accomplished anything in this game so far. He hasn't been able to keep his long teamfight heroes in the Bristleback and the Slark alive for much longer. Another Ward is nice, but it just doesn't really feel like anything. At least the Grimstroke's getting off the Soulbind and forcing out the Will-O-Wisp from the Keeper of the Light.
Yeah, but other than that, RNG still just building their lead. 6k the advantage now. About 10k experience and win probability up around 92%. And Bristle just trying to finish up an SNY, but I feel like he's getting kited pretty effectively in these fights, right? Either it's a chains, or there's just the Yules, or he's getting silenced, or people are stampeding away. Really missing that little bit of extra lockdown coming from his team, and Bristle's not going to be able to do it alone. And now Monet is doing a lot of damage on this Ember as he also picks up a Desolator. Fame realizing that this is not a good place to be. Gonna go for the self-decrab and walk it out.
September just acting as the scout at the moment, and man, it just seems like every single time this Bristle's been able to stack up a camp for them, it was in that tri-camp area before, and now this Ancient on the Radiant side, it just gets scouted out and stolen by RNG.
September is scouting for something. He's going for an Ags on this next assassin. We are heading towards the 22-minute mark, so much for my prediction, unless Ocean lose a disastrous fight in the next 10 seconds and call
10
it.
seconds, GG.
Yeah, here we go. Bristleback getting gone on. The Soulbind's there, but the Will-O-Wisp in a perfect position. They're looking for his Keeper of the Light one more time. They will bring him down, but TZY half HP. Do they have any way to keep him here? The Shivas gets delivered. He doesn't want to go past the Will-O-Wisp. He's just going to turn his back in the corner. Fame trying to keep him alive, but it's not enough. Setsu diving in a little bit deeper. BKB popped. They will be able to pop the Aegis now. Monet still hunting inside of the base. He brings down the Pugna. Now he turns his attention back towards the other side of the fight, where his two cores are still going strong. Monet a little bit low after tanking the tier 3 tower for a while, but Flywind and Setsu still wanting to make a go of this. And Ola can't do this alone. We'll just have to head back. And RNG looking to take out this tier 3 tower.
Yeah, nice pounce dodge by Monet to be able to get that out, otherwise Ola might have been able to pick him up, but yeah, just even when you pick off the Exorcism and the Aegis, it's just not enough to be able to take down the entire team fight for them. Again, it only seemed like one life drain was able to get off by this Pugna here. He really needs that Aether Lens, but still 200 gold away.
Yeah. And RNG, they even had the outpost controlled, so they're just going to TP in here. Nice and easy, little salve from Monet, keep him going. Setsu's going for the Aghanim Scepter next, and yeah, very much RNG still in complete control. Now a 10k net worth lead, and gotta remember that 10k net worth lead is a hell of a lot more significant than maybe in the previous patch. Bristleback trying to hold the front line. RNG looking for him. They don't have the Will-O-Wisp. September running forward. Does have the Spike Carapace available. Flywind finds a two-man stun on the other side. Into a follow-up silence. Slark still holding the BKB. Looking to see if he can find a commitment. September still surviving. Actually baiting a little bit with the wand. This is not the best place for the Bristleback to be here on a 3rd HP. And Slark pouncing forward. Now caught out. BKB will be forced. Monet's just holding everybody else back. Flywind willing to go toe-to-toe against the Slark, who feels like he does need to commit to the fight. Will finally pop the Shadow Dance and look for the retreat, but Monet is hot on his heels. Another slight chains at the ready. He does have the pounce, but he's been silenced. Looking for the jump away, but 1 second too long on the cooldown. Flywind finding one more. RNG, just kill after kill after kill. Too sustainable. Tusk is trying to... He's lurking around. Is he going to try and go for September? Will-O-Wisp controlling the Bristleback. ZC. Oh, Spiked Carapace coming out. The immediate Yules on the Tusk. He won't even get this kill. Too much chain stun. Triple kill for Setsu, and with only the Grimstroke alive, and now the Exorcism getting popped, that's GG called.
Yeah, again, the Pugna just did nothing. That was my biggest issue. Well, mid-Tusk and Pugna did nothing. He finished up finally his Aether Lens in the middle of that team fight. Could have actually got it sniped, running it right over the mid lane. Nyx Assassin, if he wanted to use his Vendetta break onto it. But first usage, it hit immediately into a Nyx Carapace, and it was never used a second time to try and make sure that this Slark as well as the Bristleback were able to sustain themselves in the middle of these team fights. So, yeah, just not too much presence in lane, not too much presence later on, no tower pushing. It just didn't accomplish anything, unfortunately, for Ocean.
Yeah, and I think it kind of messed up the Slark's game plan a little bit as well, because I think they picked the Slark looking at this Centaur and being like, okay, Slark's decent against Centaur in lane. Maybe we can get some kills early on, abuse his high HP. But then Flywind just gets his Ring of Health early and goes in back lanes. And because they don't have a position forward that can rotate and maybe set up a kill where if they have the Grimstroke +1 come in and the Slark comes and connects from the tower, all you need is 2 stuns to keep the Centaur there and get the Slark in for the kill. But without the second stun, Flywind can just play however he wants, and, Slark did fine farming underneath the tower, but once we got to the mid-game, life just got super hard for him. So that's the end of this series. RNG, so now we have to see how everything goes with, I guess we have to find out what the tiebreaker rules are.
Yeah, head-to-heads and all of that. It's too confusing. Like, there are 4 teams that are all on a 5-4 record. And out of those, only one of them misses out on one of those top 6 spots. So, how's it going to work? I don't know. I don't have the rulebook in front of me, so it's going to be difficult. We'll leave it to the admins; they'll figure it out.
Yeah, we'll just have to wait and see. We do have a very long break before our next series, so that's going to be Aster versus LGD. I believe that there's TNC versus Fnatic and Vici versus LGD going on right now if you want to go and watch some Dota. So we'll direct you over there. But thank you very much for watching, guys. Hope you've been enjoying all of the coverage of CDA League, and join us in about an hour for our very last best of 3 for this round of the league. So we'll catch you then.